excited. These are two flags. This is the California flag and the Filipino flag here. I grew up in California. I was raised in LA. I was born like a few hours outside of LA. Something I love about LA is actually the traffic. I'm obsessed with driving, and sometimes like an hour and a half drive is my idea of fun, because I think it's the only time that you can actually properly be alone and you can turn on whatever music you like and talk to yourself. My family on my dad's side is Filipino. Just about a month ago, I got the opportunity to go for the first time. I played a show there, and it was the biggest show of my career, and the audience was singing back the words to me. And they were all outstanding singers. All of the rumors are true. Filipino people are incredible singers. I love to write. I journal a lot. But obviously, my great love in this life is writing songs. I'm a big believer in quantity over quality of songs sometimes. I'm not a perfectionist with it. I think the more you write, the more the creative gods will favor you and give you good ideas. This is what I was writing, if anybody was curious. This sounds nice. My parents forced me to take piano lessons, and I hated it. I'd cry before every lesson. I would never practice. But my parents wouldn't let me quit, because they said one day I'd thank them. And today is that day. I'm so thankful that I know how to play piano. I'm no maestro, but I play well enough to write songs. I also play a little guitar. I started taking guitar lessons when I was like 12. Again, I'm not amazing at it, but I can play cowboy chords. I think these are all objects that are referencing my time acting in this Disney Channel show called Bizarre Park. I was on that show from the ages of like 12 to 15, and I played with these juices are in reference to this song that I did for them called the Comeback Song. The show was kind of sold to us as a lonely island for kids, and so they had us doing all sorts of crazy shit. But now I have a pretty big digital footprint, so my kids are gonna be able to watch their mom do really crazy stuff. But that's showbiz, baby. Such a good sound. So W-Mag brought out these pom-poms, I think to represent my time acting on a show called High School Musical, the musical, the series. I was on this show from the ages since I never went to high school. I was homeschooled. That this show is the closest that I ever got to having a real high school experience. They let me write this song called All I Want for my character Nini, and because of that song, I signed a record deal with Interscope. So everything leads to the next thing. You're always right where you're supposed to be. I believe this represents my very first single called Driver's License. This song felt like sort of a gift from the universe to me. I wrote it in my living room, and it was almost like the words and the chords were sort of just flowing through me. Getting my driver's license was the best day of my life, and it took me 2 tries. The first time I went to the DMV, the horn didn't work on my mom's car. Like, I couldn't press it, and they said that my car was invalid and it was unsafe and I couldn't take the test. And I cried in the parking lot for an hour. But the second time I passed it, and I got a nice little song out of it. This is my first album. Sour. I wrote it when I was 17. I was going through the worst heartbreak, and writing songs was like the only thing that helped me. Asked to sign vinyls, and so now I'm going to show you what that sounds like very close up. That was the sound of my signature. This is my second album, called Guts. I really like 4-letter words. I knew that I wanted the album to be called Guts, even before all of the songs were written. I wrote this really shitty song called Hate Your Guts that didn't make it to the album, but I really liked the way that guts rolled off the tongue, and I like the phrase spill your guts, and I like how guts is used to describe courage. One of the scariest things that I've ever done in my life. So I went back to college the year that I was making this album. Well, I guess to college, since I'd never been before. I took a poetry class at USC, and I turned one of the poems that I wrote as an assignment into the song Lazy. And speaking of guts, I have a movie on Netflix called Guts World Tour. It's a concert film. It just came out, and you can watch it on Netflix. I hope you like it. I'm a big believer in astrology. My grandpa, who just passed away this year, I love him very dearly. told my parents that I was going to be very emotional and a performing artist. I tell that story to anyone who's an astrology denier. Pisces, this may be a time of extremes, but that does not mean you should be extreme in your own thoughts and actions. Take a more balanced view of what is going on in the world. Be the kind of person who makes a constructive difference. Today's sort of a day of extremes. I'm not sure, but I definitely will make an effort to be the kind of person who makes a constructive difference. I believe this is to represent me as a spicy Pisces. Pisces love water, and while I'm not a very strong swimmer, if there is a body of water within like a mile radius of where I am, you best believe I'm going for a swim. And I'm a little spicy too, hence the spicy Pisces bio that I have on my Instagram. This should be the thumbnail. W Mag has just handed me a magic 8-ball, which is very lucky because I have a burning question to ask it. Should I have sushi for dinner tonight? Resounding yes from the 8-ball. I'm glad because that was the plan. To this snow globe. Because the holidays are coming up. I was on the road for 9 months. And I'm so happy to be home for the holidays. My favorite thing to do on Christmas in California is go to the beach because it's not too cold and there's not a soul on the beach. Okay, we're gonna light some candles and say some affirmations. Oh. My biggest affirmation these days is that I choose to be daring instead of perfect. I've been very into this woman, Brene Brown, lately. That's been my mantra lately. Okay, I'm gonna name this girl Harriet. I met a little girl named Harriet the other day and I thought it was the cutest name. My hair used to be super long on tour. And I got like 6 inches off the other day. I feel like 15 pounds lighter. It's amazing. Harriet's getting a long bob, or a lob, one of the most used words in me and my friends' vocabulary these days is a fuck ass bob. It's used lovingly. A fuck ass bob is just like kind of a bob on a woman who you deem to be cunty in a good way. There's this video of Azalea Banks with her bob. She kind of like goes like she like bounces right around her bob, like does this really cool thing, and I think that's sort of the blueprint of a fuck ass bob. That's the paradigm of a fuck ass bob. All right, Harriet's looking pretty good. It's a little choppy, but c'est la vie. Wow, W Magazine has very kindly given me a gift. Let's see what it is. just like